This conference will now be recorded.
No. So in the previous session, we have discussed about
Hi
the
sir, I have one
reports.
doubt. Hello.
Yes.
I mean, 2 days back, we were trying to load the update the records through data loader, right?
Okay.
There are few records in approve stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You created approval process. That's why whenever you insert a new records, those were gone to the approval phase, right?
Yes, right.
So end user will not able to see those records until unless those are completely approved, right?
Until the end user can see that record, because end user can able to see those record because he has a submitter. So he can see what is the status of that record approval. He can able to track that status.
Okay, but he cannot update, right?
Yeah, he cannot update that.
So he can see, but he cannot update. Okay, thank you.
Yes, right. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the various types of reports, like the tabular reports, summary reports, joint reports, and matrix reports we have discussed. Now, today we'll see how can we create a dashboard. Creating a dashboard. How to create a dashboard? Now let's see. You know that what exactly a dashboard? Dashboard is nothing but the pictorial representation of the reported data. Like generally, for example, come to a general scenario. Assume that we have an organization called as some Spencer's. It's a supermarket business. It's a supermarket business. They're providing so many grocery items, vegetables, fruits. They're providing so many types of items which we can use, okay, in our house. So whatever the household items are required, all those items we can able to buy at one place, that we can go with that supermarket. Now, so now this Spencer's is having so many branches. They're having so many branches in different cities, in different locations, in different states, in different countries. They're having so many branches available. So for each branch, we have a branch manager. For each branch, we have a branch manager. For example, assume that I am the branch manager for some Amirpet branch. For Amirpet branch, I am the branch manager. So it's my responsibility. It's my responsibility. By end of the day, I have to generate some report to know, okay, how many products we have sold out to, what is the stock available, how much revenue we have generated today, what are all the various items in the wanting stage. So I want to know all this information. For that one, I want to generate a report. Today morning, when we started the supermarket, what is the stock? Now what is the stock? How many items has been sold out? So which items are available, which items are in wanting stage? I want to find out. So for that one, I want to generate a report. So I need to generate a report. In that report, I can clearly see how many customers has visited today, what are all the items they have purchased, and then what is the stock available today, and what are all the items that I needed for tomorrow. So based on that, I can able to collect those items, and I would like to make those items to be available in the supermarket for tomorrow. So I need to see that report. Each and every details I need to see. Like the similar way, so many branches are available. So every branch manager will be generating a report. But when coming to the CEO of this organization, okay, when coming to that CEO of the organization, now tell me, will the CEO is going to be verifying each and every branch report? No, he want a consolidated report. He want a consolidated report. That means including all the branches, including all the cities, all the states, all the countries. What is the daily sales? What is the yesterday's sales? What is the today's sales? He would like to know. How he will be aware of all this information? Just he want a picture. He want a picture. That means he want a chart in which he can able to see that information here. So what is my daily sales? Today, what is the sales? Yesterday, what is the sales? Day before yesterday, what is the sales? Whether the sales has been increased, the sales has been reduced. If reduced, why? So that they can take some action plans to increase the sales, to sell out more products, to generate more revenue. So that they can do the forecasting also in this case. So now here in this case, what happened? So now when coming to that as a branch manager, I want to see the report. That means each and every record I want to see in the table. But when you go to that CEO of the organization, he can't look into each and every report. He can't go through each and every record. That will be very difficult because he's having so many branches. So many reports are available. He can't go through each and every report separately. For that one, he need a consolidated report. That too, it will be having that in the form of a pictorial format. Just he look into the diagram, just look into the chart, he can understand what is today's sales, yesterday's sales, day before yesterday. He can able to see historical data also, so that he can able to make some decision for the forecasting. So in this case, they don't want to look into the report. They would like to go in the form of a pictorial format. For that one, whatever the report data is available, that report data we can represent in the pictorial format by using a feature called as dashboard. Like whenever the company is announcing the financial results, it may be quarterly, it may be yearly also. So they are going to be representing that information in the form of a chart also, like as a pie chart, horizontal bar chart, vertical bar charts, all these things. So what is the income? And then what are the assets? What are the liabilities? And the number of employees they have recruited in this current quarter? And what is the profit? Everything they're representing in the form of a chart. So whenever the people are looking into the chart directly, they can understand. There's no need to go to that each and every entry inside the table regarding that financial results. So in this case, what happened? I don't want to see the report data each and every record manually. I want to represent that report data in the pictorial format. For that reason, we are using the help of a feature called as dashboard. So what do you mean by dashboard? Dashboard is nothing but a component which represents the report data in the pictorial format. Okay. Now, dashboard is nothing but the component which represents the report data in the pictorial format. In the pictorial format, either in horizontal bar charts, vertical bar charts, line chart, pie chart, donut chart, Gauss chart, scattered chart, like that. These are the various chart formats are available. These are all are called as dashboard components. These are all are called as dashboard components. That means this is one format. Horizontal bar chart is one format. Vertical bar chart a different format. Line chart a different format. Pie chart a different format. Donut chart a different format. Gauss chart a different format. Scattered chart a different format. That means each and every chart is having its own format. So whatever the report data is available, that report data it will represent in the pictorial format. So whatever the report data is available, that report data it will represent in the pictorial format. So that here, whenever if you want to represent the report data in the pictorial format, then we have to use the help of dashboard components. Now here in this case, how can we represent the report data in the dashboard component? Whenever if you want to show the reported data and the dashboard component, that means in the pictorial format, then we have to design that report type. Either it may be matrix or either it may be a summary report. Now, we can represent the summary reports and matrix reports data in the dashboard component. So now we can able to represent the reported data. What type of report data? Summary reports and matrix report. Why? Because is tabular report data we can't show in the dashboard format, and then joint reports data also we can't represent in the dashboard format. Because whenever if you want to display the reported data in the pictorial format, then we need grouping. Grouping is mandatory. If the reported data has been grouped based on some columns, then only we can able to show that reported data in the pictorial format. When you go to the summary reports, we have grouped the records based on a specific column. When you go to the matrix reports, we have grouped both vertical and then horizontal both. That means we are going to be grouping the record both row wise, column wise also both. That means we have applied the grouping, so that here summary reports data and the matrix report data we can represent in the chart format. Now, so in this case, how can we create a dashboard? Now let's see. Now, whenever if you want to create the dashboard, go to that dashboard tab, click on new dashboard button. Okay, click on new dashboard button. In order to create a new dashboard, we can able to specify that new dashboard button. As soon as once you click on this new dashboard button, it is providing a dashboard. This is called as a dashboard, where we can able to display the information whatever you want in the different pictorial formats. So now when you go to this dashboard, here you will be having a left panel. Here's the left panel. So in this left panel, we have two tabs are available, components, nothing but dashboard components. That means various chart formats. In which chart format you want to represent the data, we can able to decide. Here we are having various chart formats: horizontal bar charts, vertical bar charts, line chart, pie chart, donut chart, scattered chart, Gauss chart. Like that, the various formats are available. These are the various chart formats in which we can able to represent the reported data. These are called as a dashboard components. These are called as a dashboard components. Now, so now we can able to drag and drop this dashboard component. Nothing but this is called as the actual dashboard. This is called as the actual dashboard. This is the actual dashboard. In this dashboard, we can able to add the dashboard components. Now, what are the various components that we can able to add on this dashboard? Now let's see. So now here I am going to be adding some dashboard components. Like for example, I would like to place the pie chart, and then we are having this here, donut chart, and then I am going to placing this funnel chart, and then I'm having this horizontal bar chart and the vertical bar chart, and then the Gauss chart. So we are going to be adding this dashboard components onto my dashboard. So what are the components that you want, we can able to add it onto the dashboard. So in this case, how many components we have added as of now? 6. This is 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Like that, in this dashboard, we can add maximum of 20 dashboard components. It's a common question in every admin certification 201 and in the interview point of view also. On a single dashboard, how many dashboard components that we can add? So on a single dashboard, we can add maximum of 20 dashboard components, not more than. A dashboard can have maximum of 20 dashboard components. We can add maximum of 20 dashboard components on a dashboard. Not more than that. Now, so in this case, once the dashboards have been getting components has been added over here, then we have to pass some input. That means which data you want me to show in the supply chart format, which data you want me to show in the donut chart format, which data you want me to show in the funnel chart format. We have to indicate. We have to give some data source, right? Yes. What is the data source? Now the data source is nothing but a report. What report? Either it may be a summary report or matrix report. So for that one, we have to go to this left panel. Here we have a tab called as the data sources. Go to the data sources. Once you click on this data sources, it is indicating that I want to give a report as a input for my dashboard component. So now in which folder that reports are available? So now inside my personal folder, that is Forces Sales Reports folder. So now here this is the folder in which I am having the various reports are there which I have created in the past. So now whatever the report that you would like to represent, just you can drag and drop that report onto the dashboard component. Like for example here, so there is a report called as all customers report. This is my first report which I have created in the previous session. So there, this is the tabular report that already told you tabular report cannot be represented in dashboard format. But let's try to supply what will happen. Whenever I'm passing this one, it is indicating here the error message. This report cannot be used as the source for this component. If it is a summary or matrix report, then we can able to apply it here. That already told you. So now for the dashboard component, we can supply the data source which will be either summary or matrix report. Now, so here we have created one report called as Forces Customer Reports with a rating group. Based on this rating column, we have applied that grouping, and then I would like to show that report in this chart format. So just you can able to drag and drop. The same report I want to we can give to the other components also, so that you can show that information in different chart formats. In the different formats, able to represent that. So the same report I'm passing to all these dashboard components. The report is same, but the representation is different places. These are different. Like that here, we can able to generate some multiple reports. One is related to sales, one is related to service, one is related to marketing, and then those reports, those dashboards you can able to see in one shot. That facility will be available to you. So the same report I have given as the input for all these dashboard components. So the same report has been represented in different formats. Why? Because few people can understand pie chart format. Few people can understand donut chart format. Few people can understand funnel chart format. Few people can understand horizontal bar charts, vertical bar charts, all these formats. So at that time, so for that one, the same report I want to represent in different chart formats over here. So that whenever we are going to be creating the dashboard, first of all, we should have a report that will be either summary or matrix report. Only the summary reports and matrix reports can be represented in the form of chart formats. Other types of reports will not be supported over here. Now, so in this case here, I have represented that sales information. Okay, sales information. If you want to give any header, we can specify, like as Forces sales report. Sorry, sales count. Sales report. Here I'm indicating like as some service. Marketing, like that. We can generate the different reports also. Here I have created only one summary report here. The same report I have supplied to all these dashboard components. So you can create some different report. One is for sales, second one is for marketing, third one is for service, and then we can pass it to the different components also, so that we can see your complete business. Okay, we can see the complete business analysis in one shot. Just by looking into the diagrams, you can able to understand. What is my daily sales, branch wise sales, also representative wise, everything. You can able to see that. So now here, once we are applying all these dashboards, then we can able to show this dashboard, okay, inside your tab homepage also. Now let me save this dashboard. I'm saving this dashboard over here. Courses sales dashboard. I would like to save this inside my folder here, my personal dashboard. Now click on save and run dashboard. So now the dashboard will be getting run and it is going to be indicating the latest data. So whatever the data is available, we can able to see inside this dashboard components. So the people no need to look into the report, just they can able to see into the dashboard. That means pictorial format or the chart format, they can understand what exactly the daily sales or weekly sales, monthly sales, depends upon their application requirement. They can configure the chart and then we can represent, we can able to show that information inside this component. Suppose for example, so now I have opened this dashboard, okay, 20 minutes before. In this meantime, some sales has happened. So I want to see that current one. For that one, just you can click on refresh. It will be getting the latest data by running the report, and then to collect the latest data. That latest data will represent inside this report. So that when coming to the CEO of the organization, the sales head, they keep on watching this. They keep on watching this dashboard only. They're not contacting the branch manager. How is the sales today? So now the number of customers has increased or reduced. Okay, they can't track all this information manually. Just they will go to that dashboard. They will refresh this one. They will verify that. Yesterday by afternoon 12 o'clock, how many customers has visited? Today, how many customers has visited? So they will track how much revenue we have generated yesterday by 12 o'clock, and then today 12 o'clock, how much revenue we have generated. They will be keep on tracking that information. Based on that, they're introducing some new benefits also to the customers. Like they're introducing some discounts also. Today the sales have been increased, so tomorrow we are going to be offering some 5% discount on the bill amount. Like that, they would like to take some forecasting decisions also over here. They will take some decisions so that they can able to offer some discounts so that they can able to increase their sales also. For that reason, they are going to be keep on looking into that, the analysis, nothing but the trend analysis over here. Now, so now I would like to show this report dashboard components onto my tab homepage. So whenever as a administrator or as a business person, whenever I'm logging into my Salesforce instance, by default home page has been selected. So in this home page, I want to show this dashboard. Whatever the dashboard is there, I want to show in this place. Every time I can't go to that dashboards tab, I can't run that dashboard manually by my own. Whenever I'm logging into my Salesforce instance, by default it is opening that home tab to me. So in this home tab, I want to show this dashboards. Then how can we arrange the dashboard inside my home tab? So in my home tab, we are having this calendar section is there. We have my task section is there. Items to approve section is available. These are the three sections are available inside my home tab. Now, so now what I want to do is I want to represent, I want to represent the dashboard components inside my home tab. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so now let's go to that. So once the dashboard has been saved, then you can go to that setup menu. Go to the build menu in the left panel. Click on customize. Click on home. Click on home. You will be having that home page layouts. Okay, you will be having the option called as home page layouts. So now you will be having a default layout is available, that is a DE default. DE means what? Developer edition default layout. Click on this DE default layout. Click on edit button. So now we have the dashboard component is also available. As of now, it is indicating that items to approve also, tasks also, calendar section all are visible. But now I want to show the dashboard components also. So that select this checkbox, dashboard snapshot. Okay, select the checkbox, dashboard snapshot. Select this one. From now onwards, I want to show the dashboard also. Then where you want me to show the dashboard? Because when you go to my home tab, okay, on the top of this home tab, I'm having this, okay, the calendar section is visible first. And then item my task section is available. And then items to approve section is available. So where you want me to show this dashboard? At the bottom, at the middle, or at the starting? Where you want to place that? So that we can able to arrange. So after selecting this dashboard snapshot, click on next button. Click on next button. Now dashboard snapshot also will be getting visible. So now where you want to show? At the bottom? No, I want to show at the top. So that move it at top here. So move it up. Here you will be having up and down navigation buttons are available. So I want to move it at top here. First of all, I want to show the dashboard and then calendar and then task and then items to. Now click on save button. Save. So from now onwards, it is going to be representing the dashboard component onto your home page. So once you click on this home tab, we can able to see your daily sales. Like that, we can able to see as an organization member, as a business person, I can see my daily sales also, service also, marketing information, as everything I can able to see in one shot. So that I no need to go to the dashboards tab and I no need to run the dashboard manually by my own. So now just I can able to go with that. Okay, whenever I'm logging into my Salesforce application, home tab is available by default, home tab is selected by default, so that I can able to see my dashboards also. So I can see that sales report and the service report, marketing report. Suppose if you want to refresh this one after some specific period of time, then just you can click on refresh. It is refreshing that dashboards. Then what it will do, it will rerun the report, it will collect that latest data. Based on that latest data, it is generating this dashboard component. This is how it is going to be representing this information over. So now here we are having the record count of 4, 5, 2 and the 4. Now so these are the reports, this is the dashboard components are available over here. Now, suppose, for example, I want to insert some 5 records into my account object. Okay, I want to insert 5 records into my account object. Let's see how can we do that. Then automatically, that means whenever I'm refreshing this one, it will be changing the dashboard or not. Now, let me insert the record through programming. Don't worry about the programming part. Okay, I will see the development concept. But for the time being, I'm inserting some records through programming right now. Through programming, I'm inserting some account records. I'm inserting some 5 account records. Forget about this programming part. Just for your information, to show that latest information in the dashboard, I'm inserting some records. I'm inserting heart rating records. Now, So I'm passing the values for these fields, and then I'm going to be inserting the records inside my object. So now let me execute this piece of code to insert this account record. So 5 account records I have inserted right now. Now, as of now, whenever I'm looking into these records, I'm going to be having these records are available. So now here 4, the rating, heart rating records 4 are available. Now I have inserted 5 more records right now inside my object. Now refresh this one. It is refreshing that. It will get the latest data. Based on that, it is going to be generating this dashboard component. Now let's see. Now the dashboards has been changed. Previously we are having only 4 heart rating records are there, but now we are having 9 records are available. So that here it is going to be changing that automatically. It is changing automatically by default. So that here we can able to refresh that dashboards by click on the refresh button, and we can get the latest data. Based on that latest data, we can able to generate the chart component also. So this is how we are going to be generating the dashboard components, and we can represent the dashboard components onto your tab page. This is a concept of reports and dashboards in Salesforce.
Sir, can we make this as interactive?
Interactive in the sense?
For suppose in the first chart we are showing as the number of customers by status wise, rating wise. Hot, how many for hot, how many customers, for hot, for warm, how many customers. For suppose I want to click on that hot, I want to see those. Now we are showing as 9 customers. Can I see those customers?
No, in the report
by
we can see that. In the report we can able to see that. Like for example, whenever once you click on this heart, so this is a heart. Once you click on this heart, we can able to see this report also. Here we can able to see all the customers who are available with the rating heart.
Okay.
As soon as once you click on that chart component here on that particular color, like for example, so as soon as when you click on this particular chart component over here, like when you click on this blue color, we can able to go to that chart component, and we can see what are all the customers are available with the rating value, the empty. We can able to see those 5 records. If you want to open this record, just click on this record name, automatically record will be getting open for you. Okay.
In the chart level, I can't do that, sir. For suppose my requirement is hot level, how many customers. Then if I click on any one of the rating, then I have to show the region wise customers in the bar chart like that.
Now at that time we have to customize that. Through programming, we can able to customize with the help of Visualforce. We can do that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Now let's see the few more small features as part of this configuration. Track field history. Track field history and the field dependency. Field dependency. We'll see what exactly the track field history and what is the use. We'll see practically right now. So whenever you are creating an object, we are having a section called as optional features section. Upon creating an object, we have a section called as optional features section. In that optional features section, we have 4 checkboxes like allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow in chat reports. These are the 4 checkboxes are available to you. Now, in that one, we have an option, a checkbox called as track field history. Then what do you mean by this track field history? Now let's see. So now track field history is a feature which is used to track the history of the field values. okay, which is used to track the history of a field values. So now in this case, what we can do? How can we track the history of the fields? Like for example, assume that yesterday I have created a record. Yesterday I have created a record with the name some Shyam Kumar. This is my customer record. So this is one of the customer who has been applied for the loan. Okay, assume that. So I'm a bank manager. I'm working in a bank as a bank manager. So many customers are visiting my bank and they're applying for some loans. So as soon as whenever a customer has submitted his loan application form, that loan application form requires my approval. Because as a branch manager, I am the decision maker, so I can decide whether I can approve the loan or I can reject the loan based on the credibility, based on the criteria of so many policies as part of my bank. Every bank will be having different policies. Based on that bank policies, I would like to take some decision that I can able to approve the loan or I can reject the loan. So yesterday customer has applied for the loan. So his name is Shyam Kumar. He has been applied for the personal loan. So which is the amount like a sum 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs amount. He has been submitted. He has been submitted. His loan application form has been submitted. Current status is submitted. So now, whenever a customer has applied for a loan, so immediately I will be receiving one notification that a new customer has been applied for that personal loan, which is for the amount of 6 lakhs. So as a bank manager, it is my responsibility. I need to track the customer's credibility. I need to track the customer's credibility. Like I want to verify whether he is our customer or not. If he is our customer, since how long time he is utilizing our banking services. So how he is performing the transaction. On an average, how much amount he is performing as part of these monthly transactions. Whether he is having any other loans in the other banks or not. Whether he is having any loans in the other banks, what about the EMIs? Whether he is paying the EMIs on time or not. Whether he is having any pending loans or not. So what is the CIBIL score of this customer? I need to verify all these things. Based on that, I will take a decision that I can approve or reject it. So as per my bank policy, I have to do all these investigations. So that here, yesterday also for this customer also I did some investigation. There I found that his CIBIL score is very less, like as 400 as part of my bank policy. So to approve that loan, we should have minimum 750 of that CIBIL score. That will be indicating the credibility of the customer as per the RBI rules, Reserve Bank of India. So, but this customer is having very less CIBIL score because in the past he has taken so many loans, but he did not make that pay EMIs on time. So many pending loans are also available. So that's what his CIBIL score is very less. So I can't take up this. So for that one, I have changed that status to rejected. So as a bank manager, so this customer is like as a default customer, so I don't want to grant that loan, so that I have given that status as rejected. I have changed that loan application approval status as rejected. So now yesterday I did that. Okay, I did the investigation. I have changed the status to rejected. But today morning, when you look into the record, it is showing like as approved. Today morning, when I'm looking into this record, it is showing the status like as approved. Somebody did this modification. Who did this modification? I want the tracking mechanism. I want a tracking mechanism so to track who did this modification, who did that approval, who has approved that loan. Yesterday only I have rejected that loan, but today when you look into the record, it is showing like as approved. Who did this changes here? I want the tracking mechanism. Because when coming to my loan, when coming to my table, so this is one of that column which is a very key role. Okay, this is very key role. This is a very key role. This field is playing very key role that this customer is, okay, this customer is, we are going to be approving the loan or not. So this is a status column, loan application status column here. This status column is playing a very major role. So this is playing very key role inside my table. So I want to make a CC camera on this one. I want to appoint a CC camera on this particular table, which will be keep on monitoring. So after creating the record, if anybody has modified my record, if anybody make any changes, it will be capturing that information, storing inside the database. Then I want that kind of mechanism. That's what here, when nowadays, wherever you go, so we are having some CC cameras on the roads also, on the shopping malls also, on the small shops also, movie theaters also, wherever you go, we're having some CC cameras because they would like to track if anybody is doing any illegal operations, if anybody is doing some malfunctionings or not. So for that reason, to keep track all these things, they are going to be appointing some CC cameras. Like the similar way, I want to appoint a CC camera on my object also, which will be keep on watching. So whether if anybody has modified my record or not. If somebody has modified, collect that information, store inside the database. I will track that information. Now, so in this case, whenever if we want to track the status of these kind of fields, we are using field history tracking concept. Now, by using this field history tracking, we can able to track the history of the fields. Okay, we can able to track the history of the fields. That possibility is available here. Now, then how can we track the history of the fields? Now let's see. Now, so how can we track that field history tracking? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so in this case, whenever if we want to track the history of the fields, first of all, we have to identify what are all the fields which you would like to track. In my table, I may be having so many columns, but all the columns information I don't want to track because some columns are very, very important columns. Some columns are very key role columns inside my table. So I would like to appoint that CC camera. I want to track only those important field columns. I want to track only those important fields. The remaining fields I don't want to track. Then how can we track this information? Now, so in this case here, we can able to track the history of these fields. Then how can we track the field history? Now let's see practically. By using this feature, we can track the history of the fields. History of the field values. That is, if anybody has modified my record values, then I would like to track that information. Who did that modification? What is that username? When they did the modification? On what date? On what time they did the modification? Which column values they have modified? What is the old value of the column? What is the new value of the column? Everything we can able to track it. Then, how long time data? Last 18 months data. That means here, assume that I have created the record 18 months back. From the last 18 months to till now, how many times the record has been modified? Who did the modification? What values they have modified? What is the new value they have assigned? Everything they can able to track the last 18 months of data. The possibilities. In the last 18 months, who did the modifications on my record? Everything we can able to track. The possibilities are available. Now, so in this case, whenever you are going to be applying that field history tracking, we have to select what fields you would like to track. What fields information you would like to track. We need to select that. For that one, as a step one, we need to select the fields to be get tracked. We need to select the fields to be get tracked. That means, so in that object, what fields information you would like to track. I want to select that fields because inside my object, so many fields are there, but some unnecessary fields are available. I don't want to track that information. There are some important fields are there which I would like to track. So that select that fields which you would like to track. Now, as a step two, we need to represent the history related list onto the page layout. These are the two simple steps that we need to do as part of field history tracking. In order to implement the field history tracking, we have two simple steps are there. As a step one, we have to select the fields which you would like to track. And then second one, we need to add a related list onto your page layout. So how to do that, we'll see practically. So now whenever if you want to track the field history inside your object level, track field history checkbox should get selected. So the prerequisite is while creating the object, we have to select the checkbox track field history. That means whenever if you want to track the history of the fields in a specific object, then in that object level, okay, in the optional section, this particular checkbox track field history checkbox to be get selected mandatory. That is the fundamental principle. If the checkbox is selected, then only the checkbox will be giving the permission to you to track the history of the fields inside that object, or else it won't give the permission. So that feature will not be available to you. So track field history checkbox to be get selected, then only it will be allowing you to track the history of the fields inside your object. This is the fundamental, okay, this is the fundamental principle. We have to make sure that upon creating the object or upon editing the object, we have to select that checkbox to be get selected mandatory, or else we can't track that field history. So now whenever we are going to be tracking the history of the fields, we can track the history for maximum of 20 fields. Okay, we can able to track the history of maximum of 20 fields per an object. We can enable the field history tracking for maximum of 20 fields per an object. For an object, we can add maximum of 20 fields, okay, to track inside that field tracking history. So now we can track the field history of the last 18 months. 18 months. In the last 18 months, what are the various changes that you have made in that record? Everything we can able to track. That possibility is available. Then how can we track this field history? Now let's see practical. As a step one, we need to select that fields to be get tracked. Then where we can select these fields? Now let me show you practically. In this case, suppose I would like to track the history of the fields inside my position object. So in this case, click on the required objects tab. For example, positions. Expand the force.com quick access menu. Force.com quick access menu. Click on the view object. View object view. Go to the custom fields and relationships section. Go to the custom fields and relationships section. Click on set history tracking. Set history tracking button. Select the fields to be get tracked. by selecting the checkboxes. By selecting the checkboxes, click on save. This is the first step. This is the first step in order to track the field history. Now, so in this case, I would like to track the field history tracking. For that one here, we need to select that columns. That means which fields information you would like to track. So that we have to select those respective checkboxes. Now, this is the first step. So now let me show you practically. Now, so let me take that object over here. Let me take an object. So I'm going to the position object here. I would like to track this fields information. So assume that this is my record is available. So now since the last 18 months, who are all the people has modified my record, I would like to track. Now, for that one, in order to enable this field history tracking, so let's go to this positions tab. Expand the force diagram quick access menu. Click on view object. So now, first of all, when you come to this fields, it is indicating there is a column is available here. These are the fields are available. Here in this table, we have a column called as track history column. Track history column. That means it is indicating whether this particular field has been enabled for the history tracking or not. We can able to verify. If it is selected, that means field history tracking has been enabled on this particular column. Okay, if this checkbox is selected, it is indicating field history tracking has been enabled on this column. Now, so now here in this case, so now these fields are not yet enabled for the history tracking. That's what it is indicating. Checkbox is not yet selected. So now in this case here, this column will be getting visible whenever the history tracking has been enabled. Okay, on your object level. So upon creating that object, okay, we have selected the checkbox, okay, track field history. Okay, so now it is indicating that. So now track field history checkbox is selected. Suppose I'm unselecting this checkbox. Let's observe what will happen. I'm unselecting this checkbox. Click on this edit button. Inside this one, track field history checkbox, I'm unselecting over here. Now click on save. Observe what will happen. So when you come to this one, now tell me, do we have this history tracking checkbox is our column is available? That column has been eliminated. That means there is no such kind of features. The two, here we are having only two buttons are available. New button, field dependencies button. There is no button called asset history tracking. There is no button is available for it. But now let me enable this feature now. Observe what will happen. Click on edit. Select the checkbox, track field history. Click on save. Then the customer can see one additional button over here. Let's see. Here we have one more additional button, set history tracking button, and this column is also getting visibility. Okay, that's what I told you. Each and every checkbox is a separate feature. If that allow reports checkbox is selected, then only reports can be generated on this object. If the allow activities have been selected, then only we can able to add some workflows and process builders on that object. If that field history tracking has been selected, the checkbox, then only we can able to track the history of the fields inside this object. That's what here each and every checkbox is a separate feature. Now, so now here in this case, so now I would like to track the history of the fields. What fields information you want to track? Let's you can able to select that. So click on set history tracking button. Select the fields. So whatever the fields are available, those fields information we can able to select. So from this one, I don't want to select all the fields, man. Whatever the fields are very, very important, those fields I would like to select. Like for example, I would like to select the HR contact number, maximum budget. That means what is the maximum salary we can offer for this position. And then position status. This is also one of the important column, which is indicating what is the current status of the position, whether the position has been recruited or not, everything. And the location, also one of the most important field for me. Milestone date, also one of the most important field for me. Number of positions also important. So these are the 6 fields are very important for me. So I would like to enable the history tracking for the 6 fields. So whenever I'm making the changes for any of this field, it has to track automatically, store into the database. Now, so I'm setting this as 6 checkboxes. Okay, HR contact number, maximum budget, and then position status, location column, milestone date, number of positions. Like that, how many fields you can select per object? 20 maximum. Maximum 20 fields you can able to track per an object. Here we have selected only 6 as part of my requirement, so that we can select totally maximum of 20 per object. Now click on save. This is the first step. As a step 1, we have to select which fields to be get tracked. That's what here it is indicating. HR contact number, it is indicating checkbox is selected. Location has been selected. Maximum budget selected. Milestone date selected. Like that, here whatever the fields we have enabled the tracking history, so those checkboxes are getting visible. This is the first check. This is the first step. Next, as a step 2, from here it will be tracking the history. From here it will be tracking the history. Now we need to add the related list onto the page layout. In order to see the tracking history information, we need to add that related list onto the page layout. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now what I want to do is I would like to add the history related list onto my page layout. So for that one, now, so to see the tracking history, we have to add the positions history related list onto the page layout. So Salesforce is providing a related list that is called as for the position history, for the account history, contact history. Like that, for every object it is providing a related list. For the position object, there is a related list called as position history related list is available. I want to add it onto my page layout. So in this case here, how can we do that? Now go to the position object page layout. You know how to go to the page layout, how to customize the fields, all these things, you know that. Now go to the page layout and click on edit link. Click on this edit link. Select the related lists option in the left panel. From the always visible control. And select the position history related list and add it onto the page layout. And then click on save. So this is the navigation. As a step 2, we need to add the position history related list onto my page layout. So this is the second step that we need to do. So now as a step 1, first of all, we have to enable, we have to select what fields you would like to track. And as a step 2, we have to indicate, so what are all the various, okay, what is that page layout? So what is the related list you would like to add into a page layout? We have to do these 2 operations. Now let's see, in this case, how can we do this? So let's go to the position object. Go to the page layout section. Page layout section. Click on this page layouts. There is a position page layout is available. Click on this edit link. Click on this edit link. So now when you come down here, we are having related list available. Now go to the always visible control. This is the always visible control that we have, which will be always visible to you on that user interface. Here we have a option called as related list option in the left panel. In this left panel, we are having an option called as related list. As soon as whenever I'm selecting the related list, you will be getting one related list option called as position history related list. This is the position history related list. This is the position history related list is available. Just you can able to add it. This option will be available whenever you are enabling the field history tracking. Then only this feature will be visible to you, or else it won't visible this feature. This position history related list will be getting visible whenever the field history tracking has been enabled on your object, or else it won't display. Just you can drag and drop onto your page. Okay, position history related list. I'm placing onto my page layout. Now make it save. That's it, done. From now onwards, we can able to track that history of the fields. Now let's take any of that record, whatever you want. SFDC admin, for example, this is the record is there. It is indicating that position history. This record has been created by so and so user. Action is created when on 26th of this particular July, okay, morning 7:56, so the evening 7:56 p.m. This is the time the record has been created. Now, for example, I'm making some changes. I'm changing this location from Hyderabad to Bangalore. And this location field is already enabled for the tracking. Okay, this location field is already enabled for the tracking. And then position status I'm changing to on hold. Okay, position status I'm changing to on hold. Now, so position status I'm changing to on hold. 2 fields are modified: location value, position status. These 2 are enabled for the tracking history. So click on save. As soon as once you click on the save button, when you come down, it is tracking this information. So now here on so and so date, okay, on so and so timings, so and so user has modified your record. What is the changes here? Here changed position status from in progress to on hold. It changed that location value from Hyderabad to Bangalore. It is tracking whole information internally here. So we can able to track very easily who did the modification, when they did the modification, and what date and what time, which column values they have modified, what is the old value of the column, what is the new value they have assigned. Everything we can able to track. That facility is available. Now, like that last 18 months information we can track. Suppose I'm changing that. I'm increasing the budget from 14 lakhs to some 17 lakhs. I'm increasing the milestone date from the August 20th to till September 5th. I'm increasing this date also. And then I'm increasing the number of positions equals to some 2. Position status I'm indicating like as in progress. Okay, position status I'm indicating like as in progress. HR contact number I'm changing over here. All are 7s. These are the 5 fields. Okay, 3 and the 4 and the 5. 5 fields are modified. Now click on save button. Once you are saving this record, it is tracking this information. So now on so and so date and so and so time, this so and so user has modified these values. What values he has modified? HR contact number he has modified from this value to this value. Maximum budget field value from 14 lakhs to 17 lakhs. Milestone date from 8/20 to 9/5. Position status from on hold to in progress. Number of positions from 1 to 2. He has modified. So like that, it is tracking the whole information since the last 18 months. In the last 18 months, who are all the people who has modified your record? Everything will be tracking by Salesforce here by using this field history tracking. This is the way we can able to enable the field history tracking inside your Salesforce instance. Okay. If you want to see the previous data also, then you can see the previous data. Go to that list, you can see the previous data also. Here everything we can able to see in one place. In the last months, okay, like in the 10 days before and so date, who did the modification, everything we can able to track. So now these entries can't be removable by the administrator also. Administrator also can't remove this one.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, will it be tracking the previous data when the track field history is not enabled? Even then, will it be tracking? For example,
No. Once the field history tracking has been enabled, from there only it will be tracking the history, not before.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now. So now this is the way we are going to be enabling the field history tracking inside your Salesforce instance. So the last 18 months of data we can able to track. The possibilities are. So let me add some fields over here. For example, position status field, number of positions, location field, maximum budget, a milestone date, HR contact number, like that. Whatever the fields that you want, we can able to select the fields up to maximum of 20, not more. This is a feature to enable the field history tracking to track who are all the people has modified my record, who are all the people did some changes in my record. We can able to track. Not only creating the records by ourselves, if any other user inside my organization modified my record, we can track this information. So it will be tracking by Salesforce automatically. The next one is we have one more small feature called as field dependency. We have a small feature called as field dependency. So what do you mean by this field dependency? Now let's see practically in this case. You know that field dependency. Dependency means what? We can make one field to be dependent on another field. Okay, we can make one field to be get dependent on another field. For that one, we are using field dependency. Like for example, let me explain a small feature. For example, I'm having a country field. There is a country. So which is of type epic list. Which is of type epic list. Which is of type epic list. So by default, it is having the option like as none. And then it is having some options available, like as some Hyderabad, Bank, sorry, India, USA, UK, Middle East, Australia, like that. Some country names are populated. Now, so now below that, I have one more field is also available. Below that, I have one more field is available, with the name state name field. State. So now it is having one more quick test. So now my requirement is, as soon as whenever I'm selecting that country like as India, so in that India, whatever the various states are available, those states information I would like to populate inside this. Okay, whenever I'm selecting the country as India, in that India country, whatever the states are available, I want to populate those state names inside this state name pick list. It should not populate all the country states. Only the selected country states it has to populate. So in this case, what happened depends upon the country. Suppose if I'm selecting the country as India, India related states should be visible inside this. Suppose if I'm selecting the country as UK, UK related states it has to display. If I'm selecting country as Middle East, it has to display the Middle East related states. So now in this case here, what happened depends upon that country value. I want to populate the respective state values inside my state pick list. In this case, how can we make this a state field to be get dependent on country? Because in this case, what happened? State field is dependent on country field. Country is the parent, state is a child. Based on that parent, respective child should be getting visible. So in this case, if you want to make one field to be get dependent on another field, we are using the help of field dependency feature. By using this field dependency feature, we can able to make one field to be get dependent on another field. So in this case, what happened? Whenever we are having this two fields, country and the state, country is the parent field, state is the child field. So depends upon the country, respective states should be get populated. For that reason, this country field is called as controlling field. Okay, this is called as controlling field. Country field is called as controlling field. And then this state field is called as dependent field. This is called as dependent field. Country field is nothing but the controlling field. State field is nothing but the dependent field. So in this case, country field is a parent because depends upon the country name, respective states to be get visible over here. So that this country field is called as controlling field and the state field is called as dependent field. So always dependent field will be depends on controlling field. Then how can we map this kind of field dependency? How to implement this kind of field dependency? Now let's see practically in this case. So whenever I'm changing that country name, then automatically respective state values has to get populated. Then how can we implement this kind of functionalities? Now let's see practically by using field dependency concept. Now, so first of all, let me create these two fields over here. The one is country name field by populating some country names inside this. Second one, state name field by populating some state names inside this. Then we'll see how can we map the field dependency between these two fields. Now let's see the practical. So now in this case, let me create the two fields. One is country, second one is state. Now, for example, let me take an object over here, any of the object, whatever you want. For example, let me take an object. For example, I'm selecting the object called as customer. In this customer object, we don't have any fields, only name fields. Let me add those two fields also. Country field, state field. Now, I'm adding the two fields. Both will be of type pick list. I'm creating the pick list field. Click on next button. Select country name. I'm indicating the field label as select country name. I'm populating some country names inside this. India, United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Middle East. These are the 4 countries I'm selecting right now. I'm populating these 5 countries. I want to display these values in alphabetical order, so that I'm selecting the checkbox, display values in alphabetical order. Click on next. Make the field to be visible for all the profile users. Click on next. Make it saving, because I want to create one more field. Create another field which is also of type epic list. Click on next button. Specify the field label as select the state name. Select the state name. I'm entering some states related to each and every country. So India related states I'm adding over. Like Assam, Telangana, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and then I would like to add some Uttar Pradesh. So these are some states related to the country India. US related. Can you give me some state names of US?
Texas, sir.
California, New Jersey,
Michigan.
Texas,
New York.
New York. Now, these are some states related to some US. UK related. I'm adding some London, Scotland, and then related to Australia, I'm adding that Melbourne, and then I'm adding Sydney. These are the 2 states. And then Middle East related states. I'm adding like some Dubai, and then Oman, Qatar. Like that, I'm adding some. So these are the various states related to all the countries. I would like to populate these values in the alphabetical order, so that I'm selecting the checkbox, display values alphabetically. Now, let's click on this next button. Make the field to be get visible to all the profile users by selecting the visible checkbox, and then click on save. So now both the fields are available right now with me. I have 2 fields. One is country field, second one state field. Both are available to me right now. So let's try to create a new customer record. Refresh this user interface. You are able to see. For example, today I'm creating a customer record, some Ramesh Kumar. I'm selecting the country, like as some India. I'm selecting the state as some Texas. So because both are pick list, both are independent right now, there is no dependency. Okay, that's what here I'm selecting the country is India, state as Texas. When I click on save, it will save the record as it is. Now tell me, is it the correct information? No. Texas is not related to India. So now whenever if I'm going to be adding just the pick list fields, so it is going to be causing some invalid information also inside my records. It is raising some ambiguities also. It will raise some confusion. You know, which value we need to consider? Is the country is the correct one, or is the state is the correct one? Which value we can go now? So that will be very, very difficult. For that one, I don't want to give this kind of chance to the people to select some wrong information, to enter some wrong entries. So they have to collect that, they have to select the state and the country correctly. So for that one, I want to configure these 2 fields should be dependent. So whenever I'm going to be selecting that country, then whatever the country you have selected, like as India, only the India related states has to display. It should not display all the country states. Suppose if I'm selecting that country as some UK, only the UK related states it should populate. Then how can we do this? For that one, we are going to be using the help of a feature called as field dependency. Through with the help of field dependency, we can able to map the dependency between the two fields where one field will be working like as a controlling, second one will be working like as dependent. Now, so now here in this case, how can we map this one? Now let's see. Expand this. Now go to that force StatCon quick access menu, click on view fields. Go to that custom fields and relationships section. Here as of now we have used a button called as set history tracking button. Okay, beside that we have a button called as field dependencies. We have a button called as field dependencies. So click on this field dependencies button to map the dependency between the various fields inside your object. So now click on field dependencies. Now click on new button. Why? Because in a single object we can add multiple field dependencies also. Okay, we can add multiple field dependencies also in a single object. Why? Because is, for example, here I'm having like a country field is there, state field is there. Suppose, for example, I'm having one more field is also available like this. City name, which is populating one more big list. I'm having one more field with the name area. It is having one more big list here. So in this case, what happened? Whenever I'm selecting this particular country, it has to display the respective state. When I select the state, it has to display the respective cities. When I select the city, it should display the respective areas in that city, like that here. So, but whenever we are mapping the field dependency, we can map the field dependency between only two fields at a time. So first of all, we have to map the field dependency between country and the state. This is the field dependency one. And then as a second step, we have to map the dependency between the state and then city. This is the second field dependency. And then after that, we can map the dependency between city and the area. So this is the third field dependency. Like that here, in a single object, we can have multiple field dependencies also. That possibility is available. Because field dependency is used to map the dependency between the fields, between the two fields only at a time, not multiple fields.
Hi, Feroz. We can do in only single object, or we can do it in cross object platform also?
No, only in a single object, not in the cross objects.
No.
Okay, so now field dependency can be applicable only on that single object, not on the cross objects. Now, so now here in this case, so I'm going to be creating a field dependency inside my object. That's what you are having that new button here, so that we can create multiple also one by one, one by one, one by one. So click on new button. Select the controlling field. Suppose if I'm selecting the controlling field like as country name. What is the controlling field? Country field will be the control. What is the dependent field? State field. I'm selecting that field called as select state name field. Now click on continue. After selecting the country controlling field and the dependent field, once you click on this continue button, it is asking you to map that entries. So it is providing this all these countries over here. These are the country names. It's like as a matrix format. These are the country names are available: Australia, India, Middle East, UK, and then US. So these are the state names are available here. Now here what we need to do, whenever I'm selecting this particular country, which states has to be get populated, we need to select. We have to decide. So whenever I'm selecting this particular country as Australia, which states you want to display in the state name field, you have to decide. For that one, I'm selecting Australia. Whenever I'm selecting the country as Australia, I want to show two states here, like as Melbourne and then Sydney. So select that Melbourne and then select that Sydney. Okay, hold the control key in your keyboard and then select that. So whenever I'm selecting this country as Australia, please display Melbourne and Sydney as states. And then after this one, I want to go to the India related states I want to select. For that one, to save these changes temporarily, select that button called as include values button. So click on this include values button to save these changes temporarily for some time. Click on include values button. So it is indicating that whenever I'm selecting this particular country as India, so the Australia, please display the state values as Melbourne and Sydney. Next, go to the India and then select the states. I want to select that. I want to populate Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, and the Telangana, and the Uttar Pradesh. These are the various states I want to populate whenever I'm selecting that country as India. Click on include values. So it will be saving these changes also. Middle East, I would like to populate the Middle East. I would like to populate Dubai, and then Oman, Qatar, and these are the three values over here, okay, which I would like to populate. So click on include values. UK related. So now London and then Scotland. Click on include values. US related. California, New Jersey and the New York, and then Texas. These are the four include values. That's it, over almost. So now here you have to go to that each and every country name. So upon selecting this country, what states you would like to populate in the state field. So select that states and then click on save. Once you click on save button, done. Field dependency has been mapped. Now, so from now onwards, when you try to create a new customer record, click on this new customer record. Now it is indicating that state name has been disabled state. Okay, state name field will not be visible to you. It is in grayed out format. Why? Now select the country, then only it will populate the states. For that one, it is indicating clearly a small information symbol is available over here. It is indicating that depends on select country name field. It is purely dependent on country name field. So select the country, then states will be getting enabled automatically. Let's see. Customer name, I'm going to be indicating like a some David some dot some. David dot some. So now I'm selecting the country name as India. Whenever I'm selecting India, state name pick list has been enabled. It is populating only those states which are related to India. Suppose I'm selecting the state as like a some US. It is populating only the US related states here. If I'm selecting the country as some UK, only the UK related states will be getting populated. If I'm selecting some Australia, only the Australia related states will be populated, so that there's no chance of selecting wrong information. So in this case, select the country to whom that particular customer is associated and select the state also. So I'm selecting like some New York so that you can able to make the changes. Suppose whenever you are changing these values, then whenever if I'm changing these values here, select the country as India and then I'm changing this value to some Kerala. Now make the changes. Like that here, we can able to make one field to be get dependent on another field with the help of this field dependency feature. This is how we can able to make one field to be get dependent on another field by using field dependency concept. These are the two most important features which we are using in our real-time implementations. Okay, now. So in tomorrow's session, I will show you the Lightning experience. Like as of now, we have discussed classic part. Then how can we use the Lightning user interface? I will show you in tomorrow's session. Like in tomorrow's session, I will show you how to create the applications through Lightning, how to create the objects, how to create the fields. I will show you through Lightning part. Because both are same, no change at all. Just the outline user interface has been changed. Just in the internal, everything will be similar, no change at all. Feature wise, everything is similar. Just the outline navigation they have changed. I will show you that one. Okay, how can we create that applications, objects, fields through Lightning user interface? We'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow also we have the session as usual. Sunday will be the off. Okay, Sunday will be the off. Tomorrow we have the session as usual.
Sir, I have a
Excuse me, sir.
question. Sir,